I wish to share with you, from the point of view as a videographer, what the types of things that will assist you come your wedding day. Firstly, it's important that you communicate and have good, clear expectations as to what you would like from your videographer and your photographer. It's very important that the two connect prior to the wedding and have a very good working relationship. When you book a videographer, the first thing you need to do is ensure that you have a consult. A pre-wedding consult actually provides the opportunity for the videographer and for yourself to then understand what the expectations are for the event, to share some industry insights to help that things you may not have thought of before, and to make you feel as comfortable as possible so that you know there's no surprises come your big day. If you're booking a videographer and travel is required, then another thing to consider is whether or not you've factored the costs for travel and accommodation into your quote. Be sure when you're looking at a videographer that this information is supplied and that this is something you can negotiate and discuss to cover costs. You need to take into consideration 3 points when investigating about having a drone operating for your wedding footage. The first thing is to consider whether the venue has any particular restrictions on flight paths. Your videographer will be able to predetermine that in your pre-wedding consult. The second thing to consider is whether or not the weather conditions permit. Unfortunately, there are circumstances where, with all good intentions and prior planning, that the weather has other ideas and unfortunately the drone is not safe to operate. And the final thing to consider when talking to your videographer is to ensure that they have the appropriate permits and/or licenses to safely operate a drone at your venue. Think about the itinerary when you're setting your schedule. If you definitely want to get certain particular shots, and that's what you're looking for in your end product with your videographer, in the pre-consult you will talk about what time frames are required, what travel is required for certain destinations, and also whether or not it is achievable. It's great to start with an idea at the start of the event. However, as things progress on the day, just be prepared that you may need to wiggle a little bit if time doesn't permit. Audio is what helps share the story with the buttery smooth, beautiful footage that's taken by your videographer. It's very important to consider audio when looking at your ceremony because some speakers can be quite substandard and don't necessarily have the inputs required for your videographer to put the recording devices into. Please be sure when you're having your pre-consult that you let your videographer know what type of equipment or what type of speaker system or PA will be there on the day. If you're not familiar or aware of what this might be, then the videographer can do their homework and get in contact with either the celebrant, the DJ, or the event venue owner. Your videographer will capture your moments from the day. What we do is we take short little snippets and capture moments in time. And then we come back to our workstations, and that's where the magic happens. Now, with the raw clips we get, some of them are good and some of them are bad, not so good. If you request a copy of your raw files, you need to check with your videographer if that's something that they release or sell as an add-on. Expectations of raw footage is that they'll usually be flat, have limited colour, and often require very high powerful types of computers or devices to play back. Check with your videographer what type of options are available if having all your raw footage from the day is important to you. So how long does it take to make a highlight film? Well, how long's a piece of string? In this instance, it's an opportunity for your videographer to use their creativity and determine what is going to be the best footage for you. Videographer will go through and do a rough cut and determine from all the raw footage what are the cream of the la creme moments in time captured at that point, at that moment. If you have 2 videographers or more, then there's more footage to go through. So generally speaking, it's something you do need to speak with your videographer about your expectations with timeframes and turnarounds. There's potentially 80 odd hours or more that go into producing a highlight film of quality that's cinematic and has a full reflection and captures and honours your day. In the event your ceremony is not well lit, then it's going to be rather interesting for your videographer to try and capture the particular footage that you're looking for. Hence the importance in your pre-wedding consult to make sure that you've confirmed the venue and the videographer can do a little bit of homework about what type of lighting may be required to bring on the day. A question I get asked very often is in regards to how I choose music for your highlight film. Majority of the time, the music used or requested by the couples is not licensed. Videographers can only utilise music that is licensed in Australia and that there's no infringements with copyright laws. I use a variety of different platforms to source music that I believe is fit for purpose for your highlight film. And one last tip, don't forget your videographer and their assistant come mealtime. Trust me, after 10 hours of being on your feet and getting to know you and your family and all the buzzing of the day, a meal on the plate would be much appreciated. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I always say, no question's a dumb question except the one that's never asked. Thank you and all the best with your planning for your special wedding day.